Hey guys, Vol.4 here. We're here for I'm very late to it, but I'm pretty sure Volume 5 hasn't came out. But the summary, and some theorizing for Mandela Catalog Volume 3. So if this is not my apartment yet, probably by February you'll start seeing me in the apartment. But anyways, now we're done with the holidays. I might have some money to move around, but not too much. We do have Bendy out, so probably Bendy's summary video will be tomorrow, even though I didn't beat the game yet. Still need to get it done. And then the next weekend, I do have an information kind of Five Nights at Freddy's summary. I know there's so many at this point, but with something that I forgot was Scott did put in the fact that the games are technically canon to the universe, but not canon of the overall story. So I kind of got to pluck through, get some theory going. I have everything but Security Breach right now. I need to go by myself around the map, trying to figure everything out there. But anyways, let's get on. First, we do have a happy little boy. Oh, he's trying to kick his bottle out, but good boy. Good boy. Who's a good boy? Oop. I can't call him over without giving him a treat. Hold on. Oof. Go. Good boy. But anyways, let's go into this. Hopefully my volume is down. Okay. So anyways, this is Volume 4. Shouldn't be spoilers at this point because you should have seen it. It's been about a month. So anyways, let's get into it. In the beginning, the earth was created. Instead of God, it's a spirit. There's light, dark, and there's always a divide. There's always a divide, is what they're saying. All right. So it's going over Genesis. Where is it? There it is. At 50 seconds, you do see the far right tree has Gabriel in it, and he turns it into a more realistic tree. This is just fermenting that he is in the Garden of Eden from the beginning of life. They go into the planets, the sun and the moon, animals, Adam and Eve. But the thing that I'm trying to figure out is if there's any other moments when Gabriel is Saul. Because there's Adam and Eve. Awaken my son. He awakens Adam instead of Eve. So he talks to Adam instead of Eve to eat the fruit. At 2:10, we do get to see him hiding behind the tree. Instead of a serpent, he is the full-on figure. And then there's the fruit. Where's obstructed by the man. And what's weird is this kind of makes me think that Adam was turned into an alternate, but that's weird is because they're supposed to be the father and mother of humanity. So you gotta wonder, did God create more humans? Well, it's a fight between the devil's alternates versus God's humans of just population. But it is weird how he said that the man scares Eve, which is weird. It shows Apple, and this says the night was different than the last. So this should be Eve and Adam and Eve still. What did it say? Okay, so they're saying that the digital age makes you feel safer, but the thing is, it's an easier way for the alternates to come through and take over. So that's why there's no TVs or monitors. And then we actually get introduced to, what's it called? O'Brien, who's a friend of Dave Lee, who is the friend of Thatcher Davis, who is the lieutenant from Vol.3, and basically Dave Lee is supposed to be an advertisement played by Alex, who also played Mark in Vol.1. But anyways, he comes in as like Mandela's tech man, but now that there is no technology, his store is slowly losing business to where he can't keep it open, and has to close it in this episode. We also do get a highway where we see Bythorn and Mandela exit 333, which is one of the biggest numbers in this series. Let's see here. And it also shows that O'Brien is a man of religion, so he probably fell far faster than most because of his belief. Because being religious is a fault in this universe. Let's see here. It is so bad that he just needs some kind of money, so he has everything at 70% off. And then we do get to meet another character that if you have to go into the website of Mandela County to find it, but we meet Evelyn, who is the ex-girlfriend of Adam Murray from Vol.2, who's also the kid that was taken in Vol.1, I believe, or just Intruder Alert, by the Intruder, who is like the guy who comes through the screen and takes kids. And he is also, his parents were, his dad was killed by an alternate. The mom hung herself due to being distressed from the missing of her infant, and then he was taken by the Intruder, which everyone believes before this that he was switched, that he was swapped, that the child was the main survivor. But the thing is, it's just in this, there's also realization that he has no reaction to anything that most other people have reactions to. So it's just, he doesn't have the same, he doesn't get affected by alternate problems. Anyways, back to Evelyn. She's working for Mandela Tech under Lee. We get to see a VHS from Thatcher. That's, I believe, the thing that they had Mark, age 8, with the intruder. Not the intruder. No, it was the intruder. Because, oh yeah, it's Snatcher. The Snatcher is the guy from the TV. The intruder is the guy with the hood. But in this episode is, we'll get to it later, but both the Snatcher and the intruder are the same. We learn through this episode. And then let's see here. Property of Dave. He's got the only TV in Mandela. Also, it's the only TV in, where is it? Oh, in Wisconsin. It's the only TV. We do have the toddler stress assessment. So this is kind of the thing they did. Then we go to Thatcher. He makes a drawing of his alternate from volume 333. We see that he survived. He's running out of food because he doesn't have any money, and also he's not leaving the house because he doesn't want to run into an alternate, and he's terrified. We do see a Bythorn News, which is like the neighbor to Mandela. They're showing off a kid and their artwork. Then they run into, this is 2007. We meet Sarah Heathcliff, the little sister of Mark Heathcliff. Because of her brother dying for some reason, she creates a paranormal investigation club in her high school, and she makes a advertisement through the news, and this is how her and Adam meet. And then they make the Bythorn Paranormal Society, and because they use monitors and they actually make people aware of the situation. They are at large, so they're wanted by the police. But yet they're in danger's claws every single time, so cops can't get close. We also see Adam contact her. They go to, they make an advertisement for the society. After school, private investigations. There's no fee. Every day from 4 to 11. And there's a phone number, I believe. Oh, you can't call the number. But you can get contacted of Sarah's email. Then they go into July 14th of 07. Just after 11, they arrive at a crime scene. They break in an entry. Then they have a audio lure of people screaming. They have a door open. They have alternates' hands come through doors. Adam can see it without fear, but Sarah's so terrified she doesn't want to look at it. Look at it. We do have a jump to 09, right after Volume 2, where Jonah was killed. It is shown that he's in the same vehicle that they had in Volume 2, so right after Jonah died, he walked to the vehicle in the snow just to get the vehicle, and probably runs by his body and not actually cares about it. Through the text, we see Evelyn, who wants to talk to him, get some closure through their relationship, kind of understand what's happening with him. We have Sarah, who's basically said, stop screwing with the cops, you don't want to get arrested, stop doing this crazy stuff. There's Jonah, who bro this, bro that, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, and he's the one who runs around with him. There's a Tyler Johnson. What does FS2 even stand for? I don't even know. And then there's Amanda, who's kind of salty for some reason. Adam gets rid of Jonah because he's dead. Then there's a Noah who plays games with him. Left 4 Dead 2. Let's see here. We do have Adam telling Sarah that Jonah died, that they have some good footage, but Sarah's more worried about the death. They go into a call back and forth, and it's just the emotionless of Jonah. And basically Sarah's saying, it's your friend, you're the one who kind of went and got him killed, make the freaking video to tell our fans and viewers that he is dead. And another thing I noticed, in the beginning they have the Genesis, which is the very beginning of the timeline. They have the beginning of Thatcher and his him enclosing himself in. We have the end of the Mandela tech business, and we also have the beginning of the breaking up of the Bythorn Society. And then we go into 2 years later. Well, actually, no. I think. The beginning of the Bythorn Society. And 2 years later, we have the breaking up of Mandela Society. There's not many people. We see the decline of the population. Thatcher talks over. He knows of all, like, there's thousands of people and missing reports and death reports that he just has to kind of not care about. There's an remembrance, so people think Thatcher is dead alongside the Sergeant Ruth back in, I think it was, oh crap, I think it was in 09, so it was earlier in the year, but basically from him being horrified, he self-preserves himself, which gets Ruth killed, which I'm betting Ruth died no matter what. In this situation, he just was lucky to survive. We have a Ruth I never got to see it on a PC until now. Oh, I'm terrified. That is easily an alternate. Either an alternate or an illusion of survivor's guilt. I think Thatcher's kind of... Is that what I'm saying? Oh, that's a... Yeah. Wait, there's a blur. I don't know what that blur is. There's something that as soon as she moves her head down... Oh. I was turning down the volume. Something's right there. Oh, wait, shoot. Is that what I wanted? It's kind of hard. But yeah, there's an alternate of Ruth just to remind him and keep him scared, keep him in his house, give him a reason to not do anything. But he does get a hold of Mr. Lee to kind of get videotapes going. But Evelyn did break the biggest thing and gets a hold of the television and sees the tapes. So now she has seen the... I think it's one of those things where it's like Stanley was supposed to be there. It's supposed to give the kids an imagination to create an alternate. After that, we go into Remembrance, which we do see the aftermath of 333. Volume 333, we have the Thatcher alternate, basically calling off all squads, messing with Thatcher that he he was just a scared little boy, that he's not useful to anything. Then Thatcher goes into a monologue of feeling Ruth's passing. I think there's an alternate behind him from the flashing of the TV. I think I can kind of see it. But he does have a recording of his of them entering the house. I think that he has like his recording from his vest. Okay, there should be an alternate, but yeah, basically he's sorrowful for Ruth's passing. He blames himself. Then there's the video Adam makes for Jonah. First one is just an unfinished draft. Then the second goes into a passing beginning. Then we get to see. Oh, come on. We get to see the room from Volume 2 because we get to see right after Gabriel ask him, you should not be following the shepherd, basically. Then we get to see the alternate that whispered in that video. And it looks like Adam made a sketch of it. Then we go into the remembrance of Jonah. We have Evelyn thinking that it was weird. We have a little recording of both Jonah's death and also an audio recording of, I believe, an alternate messing with Adam about what he said. That got him in trouble with people. There's correspondence where it was like a Microsoft program, and it's basically just alternates messing with people. Hey, get your entire face in a database so we can copy you. And it also basically says technology saved us. Be a part of saving reality or making a new reality, I think. And then we go into right after Mrs. Murray basically I think it was Volume 1, but the stress of her her infant going missing, we get to see that scene again, but with the Mandela Studio 2, going over it, talking about how basically what the alternates are looking for, but we also get to see, I think he's saying Ruth in this scene. We see Evelyn go to the police station, see the remembrance of Thatcher and Weaver. There's there's Dave calling Lee that he's retiring his shop and that he's no longer being a part of the investigation. Magnificence. We see Evelyn get the key to the records room. We see Dave oh, come on. It's gotta be something. Subtitles, auto-generated. But Gabriel shows himself to Dave. Okay. What do I got to do? I don't think it tracks. I'm trying to get the closed captions and subtitles, because I think there is a moment where Gabriel speaks like he was in Overthrown, like, I know what you love, and I know what you fear. That voice, I think he uses it for a little bit to use what O'Brien says last second, like, stay where you are. He says that in his normal voice, and then goes into this huge speech to put him down. You were pretty good. You did what you were almost successful with putting down my alternates, but now you're useless. I got you in a trap. I will get Thatcher eventually, and you're dead. And we do get to see a creepy face of the elongated Gabriel face. We see Dave dies from the holiness effect. Basically, there was a guy called Saul that turned into Paul because he gazed upon God and went blind. This time, whenever you gaze upon the devil, you die. But of course, his eyes bled, so that's why that happened. Holiness. We see Evelyn go over the records for Adam, then probably the Thatcher alternate gets a hold of the power switch, flips it, gets behind Evelyn, and takes her, or because she watched that video, has imagined a new alternate and brought one right behind her. And then there's also Sarah trying to get a hold of Adam, then an unknown spam kind of situation goes on, but it turns out to be Hoodie Guy, who's actually an alternate that holds Stanley, the Intruder, and Snatcher in one personality. This is all three of those people were one person, and he basically goes over his Stanley speech, and then mentions that he got a hold of Adam when he was a baby, and you are not you. You are not wearing your own skin. So Adam is most likely an alternate, thanks to this scene. What did this one say? Crap. What does he say here? I'm trying to remember what a long face the volume 2 alternate is for. Sarah calls and disrupts the call. I need to... Okay. Another thing is, he says if you stare into the mirror, there's a monster, and apparently everyone's theory is that the volume 2 alternate is actually Adam's face as an alternate. Because if you can kind of see, there is one where he's a normal looking person, and then in some of the newer images, his jaw is elongated. So after volume 2, his face changes because he went into an alternate for a little bit. So he morphed back down here. Anyways, revealing that he's alternate, that he was the reason, let me turn this back down, because that should be the only volume in here. Gabriel going the fact that he deceived him. I believe he's talking about Dave here, because Dave is the one that's the closest to solving. So I believe he was supposed to be the prophet. If he continued the way he could have stopped the alternates. He could have figured out more. Not to mention there is people who believe in religion that could understand the more religious side of things and could have connected the lines. So I believe Thatcher, Sarah, and um, Dave could have solved the situation. Not to mention, I believe this also could have prevented Evelyn's death. But anyways, they also have Gabriel also goes over the fact that they have the prayers and the records. So they can now have all the religion, and now they have no evidence of the alternate. And then it says it begins today, and they showed the elongated Adam, and they show him like in that Mandela studio. So I believe from the police records, they now have a record of Adam. So if Adam isn't an alternate, he's going to be. And then let me look up real quick. Adam Murray Mandela. I want to actually kind of double check what I was saying. Okay, so yeah. So right here is how he originally looked like. This is what he looks like now. Not to mention, people draw to that. So I believe this is supposed to be, maybe this is not, since they never grew up, that intruder Stanley and the other one was able to make his own son. So Hoodie Guy now has a Hoodie son. Because yeah, that's easily not to mention, let me go find Google. I'm almost done, guys. Sorry. Alternate Volume 2. This guy is also known as the Preacher, I believe. That's what they were calling him. Okay, so yeah. So this is the Mandela 2 versus the Atom. You can kind of see what I'm getting at. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. That's really it from Volume 4. Basically, we've lost Evelyn. We've lost Dave. Gabriel has Thatcher on the chopping block. We also lost O'Brien, who we didn't even have, I don't think, prior connection to. For sure, Jonah is dead. So the only real people that can pose a threat to the alternates is if Adam stays on the good side. Sarah, and well, Sarah, I don't think she doesn't even care about the situation. She kind of just runs things, so I don't think she actually has a handle on any of the paranormal stuff, so she basically doesn't do anything for them. Anyways, so basically Thatcher and maybe Adam if he's still doing what he's supposed to. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.